Welcome to We Use Our Powers for Good. We're Dory and Meg, two sisters, 10 years apart, using our powers for good. We talk about grief, life, love, and everything in between, with humor, honesty, and the hope that what we're learning might help you too. This is what it looks like to practice compassion, hold boundaries, and stay connected, even when life gets messy. We're so glad you're here. Together. Ooh, elbow to elbow. Hi, we're in our fourth episode of our six-part series about hitting rock bottom. If you're just showing up, and you haven't missed the first, and you've missed the first few, please go back and watch the last three. Essentially, we had a family crisis in the last week. All four of my living siblings, that sounds terrible, we were already scheduled to be together, so it was a lovely opportunity for us to meet and kind of work through this and navigate. And so we're sharing some of our experience with that. Today, what we're going to talk about is having yourself in check first. Do you want to talk about that?
Sure. Um, so I was kind of called to discuss or go back into my rock bottom moment. And it's something I don't talk about often. I am okay, but it's also that emotional recall of it's coming back up again. Or I'm talking through it again. And so it was interesting of like me being asked to go there. Yes, I will. Yes, it's a little scary, it's a little nervous, it's a little heavy. And in that, my mind knows to go to the list of things that keep me grounded, that keep me calm, that bring me joy. Reach out to my girlfriends for support, and
For
then
your own self.
for myself.
Yeah.
I'm putting my oxygen mask on first. I'm not necessarily preparing to go into something, but to tune in and have a check in with myself. Where am I at with this?
So I'm going to have you pause for 1 second. So what you're saying is, although what just happened is not directly about you,
Mm-hmm.
you're in a second tier,
Yeah.
right? It's still super important that you take care of yourself and get your needs met because you are affected in a huge way by this, as well as,
And I want to be as present and as powerful in a loving, nurturing, like in my tip top shape to be there for them. I want to make sure all of the tools that I have are honed in so that I'm prepared for this moment.
yeah.
And what was interesting is our other brother called in right away and was like, "Are you right? I think this is too much for me." He had to check in,
Mm-hmm.
and then my husband was also like, "Is this okay for you?
Mm-hmm.
You need to put on your oxygen mask first." Is
Mm-hmm.
actually what he said.
Mm.
And so then it was like, okay, I checked myself, and our container is already so lovely. I have many people that have my back on a daily basis. And I think I had 5 people that day that were like, "Are you up for this? Do you feel grounded?" Like double checking. So it was one of those things where I'm like, man, this is tragic. And I have carved out such a lovely, strong,
Mm.
nourishing
Mm-hmm.
community for myself
Mm-hmm.
to be ready and able and willing 100% in this position.
Mm-hmm. And repeating what you're saying slightly differently is that because of the way that you already live,
Mhm.
and then the people that you have in your life that support you, naming your people, right?
Yeah.
They are reminding you of what's important to you.
Yes.
Hey, don't forget to put your oxygen mask. Hey, before you go in, make sure
Yeah.
you have yourself in a
Yeah.
good place.
Yeah.
Right. Right. So an example of how we've been using that a ton in the last week, kind of more simply, is each time I've been reaching out to the core people, um, I'm really making sure. So I'm not like standing in the kitchen making breakfast. My kids are talking to me. I'm then responding to big communications. No, I walk upstairs. I am in a space by myself. I'm sitting and breathing. In my case, I'm praying for a couple minutes just to keep myself really centered, to keep myself removed and not make this about me and let them have their experience. But then also, what can I speak into, whatever I'm going to say, but I'm putting my oxygen mask on first and meeting my needs. But that's with every communication at the moment because everything is so delicate and we want to be respectful of how vulnerable everybody is. Right.
And there's also this sort of authentic, centered self when you're doing that.
Right.
So then you're speaking from your highest, clearest self to them.
Right.
And that's such a powerful channel.
Mm-hmm.
And it is taking a minute, finding the words, and responding.
right? And then
To be
kind of then checking all those words back against your own filters. Kind of in the last episode, we talked about like, let them have their own experience and don't make this about you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna stretch this a bit because this would be like a bigger learning is as you stay in your own work and you're doing therapy and doing different things, and then you've got people in your life that meet you in a place of using these tools. We all use them differently. We're not perfect, right? Um, you could live this way all the time, right? I'd say 98% of the time, I'm being really thoughtful about how I'm communicating to people, right? Before I talk to my kids, and especially if it's about something new or exciting or heightened or whatever, I'm always checking myself at the door. Where are you at before you respond? This was me putting my oxygen mask on. And one extra tool that I would add in here is when you're speaking directly to these core people that are really struggling, ask permission before you share.
Yeah.
Right. So it was interesting. We were just talking to, some people that are in this core struggle. And as much as, oh, like I didn't want to say what my opinions were and all the things, oh no, we asked permission to share and that permission was not granted.
Yeah.
Right. So the beauty of that is you put that person in control, and also not everyone's always in a place they want to hear whatever the heck you have to say. Right. So it's being even more respectful that what I have to say only matters if you want it to matter. And the other thing that you can add to that is, and at any point, stop me if this is too much or this doesn't matter to you.
Right.
Right. And then this is kind of where in the last episode too, and then in this one, let them be where they're at. Don't make this about you. And if I continue to keep my oxygen mask on and reflect on myself, that means that I'm not going to get invested in the outcome of whether you want to hear what I say or not.
Right. Because it's not about us.
It's not about me. Right. Right. Okay, so stay tuned for the next episode where we'll continue talking about how you can support each other with when you have something really stressful happen or have someone kind of hitting rock bottom. We're using and sharing tools.
And take care of yourself in the meantime.
Yeah. This is what healing can look like together with tools, laughter, and love. If this conversation meant something to you, share it with someone who could use it. And if you want more of what real connection sounds like, hit subscribe and come along. Thanks for joining us on We Use Our Powers for Good.